Over 30 updates coming out of HighLevel this week, and we've narrowed them down to only 6 that you need to know, but there's some good ones. You're not going to want to miss this week's weekly breakdown coming up right now. All right, guys, this week we're starting with a feature that actually I'm not even sure if it's been announced yet. Maybe it has and I missed it. That's typically not the case. This is really, really cool, really powerful. This is only applicable if you are either A, an Empower LO client, B, one of our supported enterprise accounts, or C, you have your own agency. Here's the thing. We used to have to enable labs features from within the sub account. So I always tell you, hey, this is in labs, go into labs, enable it in labs, etc. This is now no longer the case. Now we can actually adjust the adoption of these features from the agency level. And what this means for you, if you're an Empower LO user and you're watching this, or if you're with one of our partner enterprise accounts, what this means for you is that we now can do the vetting of the labs feature and enable it for everybody from one click of a button, or a couple clicks of a button. That was an exaggeration. So what this looks like, if you have your own agency, this is pertinent to you. We go into labs at the agency level. So you have, if you didn't know and you have an agency, you actually have labs at the agency level. And this is just to be able to manage features that are like agency beta features instead of sub account beta features. Well, I was in here today and I noticed this sub account tab. And if we open this up, we have a new interface for managing all of the labs features that you can see inside of your sub account, so that we can actually go in here and enable them, disable them for all sub accounts, or for some of them, however it is that we want to handle that. And so what we'll be doing is we'll be making sure that we test and vet features before we enable them for everybody. And then once we, if we recognize that there are any issues, we'll actually be able to go in and roll those back. We'll pull those back. We'll say, hey, this was a beta feature. It wasn't quite ready for the prime time. We noticed it. We pulled it back. So this is really cool. And again, I wanted to start out this way so that if you're watching this, or maybe you don't watch these as often as you would because a lot of them are labs features and you never go in to enable them or whatever, now you have all the more incentive to watch the weekly breakdown and to make sure that you're paying attention to these beta and labs features, because you are going to get early access to them as long as you're aligned with Empower LO. So with that, let's jump into the next update. The next update is that you now have a marketplace for workflows. Guys, it's a big week of updates. Just that alone was worth its own video. This one, again, another really cool update from HighLevel. You now have a template library for workflows. This is cool for a couple reasons. Number one, you can come in here as a user, as a HighLevel user, you can come in here and you can choose from any of the templates that are in here that are already preloaded. If they're anything like sites and funnels, they're a great starting point, but they're not anything that you're going to be able to use out of the box. But if you're an agency, if you're one of our enterprise clients, if you're an agency holder and you're not one of our enterprise clients, and you want to be able to push workflows to your to your ecosystem, to your sub accounts, if you want to be able to push those, but not necessarily as a snapshot thing, you don't want it necessarily ready to go out of the box, but you want it, let's say it's like a menu that they can choose from and pick the workflows that are pertinent for them. Now that's possible, because not only do you get access to the HighLevel template library, but these template library features give me at the agency level, give us the ability to customize which templates show up in there, as well as add our own templates into that library. This is really, really cool. This is going to definitely improve the experience, improve the ability for enterprise, for mortgage companies and brokerages that are using HighLevel to be able to push workflows into their loan officers' sub accounts without necessarily affecting anything that they have going on through snapshots. Really, really cool feature that we are insanely excited about. All right, next up, another cool feature that kind of flew under the radar as far as development goes. Not something that I think a lot of people were asking for, but a really cool feature, and I'm happy to have it. I'm excited to have it. That's the power of the community, is I can't necessarily always think of the best next step for HighLevel's development, but somebody in the community, or not even somebody, there are, there's a voting system where they vote on the next features and stuff like that. So a lot of the times, most of the time, we end up getting blessed with stuff that we didn't even know that we needed. So this is really cool. You now, if you didn't know, you can edit your email templates from inside of a workflow. So if you're creating a workflow and you're sending out an email, you can either use the plain text email action. So if I go in here and I click on send email, I can use the plain text and just put my message in here, or I can select from one of my templates. If I select from one of my templates, then I have the ability to edit that template. Now, previously, that pulled in the actual template. If I edited this template, I was editing anywhere that this template existed. So that typically let people a little bit scared to use the templates or scared to edit the templates from within their workflows. Now, when you add a templated email to your workflow, it's creating its own unique instance of that email, giving you the ability to edit the email for just that workflow without affecting the templates anywhere else that template is being used. Again, really cool feature, under the radar, not something that I don't think any of us are like, oh yeah, now I can do this, but it's just something that's gonna clean up the experience when you're using emails and when you're editing those emails from the workflow builder. All right, next up, dashboards just got a major update, specifically the table view inside of dashboards, which is a really handy view to be able to see information at a glance. Now, up to this point, you haven't been able to use custom fields within that table view. So you pull in a table and you can't pull any custom information into that. This is an issue for those of us that have our Arrive integration. There's a dashboard, or there's like a table on the dashboard for loans in process, and we have no ability to be able to see like the close date or the loan amount. Typically we have mapped to the opportunity value, but we can't see like the agent or the property address or any of those things because they're all stored in custom fields, and the tables on the dashboard wouldn't let us use those custom fields. That has changed finally. And so I have an example pulled up of one of our clients where we've changed this already. Before, it had the email and phone number on there. Not super useful because this is like most of the time they're not actually interacting and calling off of this list. And we didn't have any information really other than the tags and that phone and email I'm created on. Well, now we're able to take a couple of the custom fields that this client uses in their lead form, and we can come in here and we can say, oh, cool, what county are they in and what is their purchase timeline, as an example. So this is, again, really cool feature, something that makes dashboards a lot more valuable. We'll continue to invest in helping our clients build out really powerful dashboards. If you guys have any questions on powerful dashboards and how you can create one, as always, feel free to reach out to us. All right, next up, this is for anybody who is running a lead magnet campaign of any sort, anybody who hosts who has a form, an opt-in form, and that takes them to a thank you page, and then we email them the download link, right? So this is like a PDF guide or whatever it is. Okay, so up to this point, that flow that I just described is basically how you had to do it, unless you were going to link to like a cloud hosted file. That's how you had to do it. Now you have the ability. So this is an example, right? This is an old page. This is not one that you can access. Oh, apparently it says it is right there. It'll be unpublished. This is not one that you guys can access on your side. This is a very old page of ours. But if you come in here, I'm using it as an example because we had a thank you page for one of our playbooks. And then if you came in here, we have, oh, wow. See, very old, 2023. You see that there. When you came in here, you have these buttons that say like, hey, download the playbook now, download the script now. Well, what we had to do is we actually were just redirecting people to the opt-in, like the landing page for those different lead magnets. So if somebody wanted all 5 of these lead magnets, they would have to opt in once, get to this page, click open all 3 of these landing pages, opt in at each one of those landing pages, and then get them that way. What a pain in the ass. Whereas now, these links that say download playbook now, they actually can download the playbook now. If I go in here in my button settings, let me move this out of the way for a second. If I go in here to the button actions here, this link to website URL, I can change this drop down, and now I can select download file and select a file from my media storage and let them download directly from the page. So if you have any sort of lead magnet flows going on right now, this is a way to improve that, decrease the friction, make it so that your email deliverability doesn't matter quite as much. So definitely check this out, again, only if you're using lead magnets or if you're planning on using lead magnets in the future. All right, next up, this last week we did a webinar on the AI features inside of HighLevel. It was a great time. We had 50, 60 people on, and most of those people stayed into the end because there was so much valuable information packed into it. Definitely stay tuned for that next webinar. But in order to do that, I had to get a lot more familiar with the AI tools inside of HighLevel. I'm kind of sitting on the sidelines. We use outside AI tools that we've had better success with. And so I had to come in here and I had to figure out how to use these, how they work, etc. And the end result is specifically on the bot. I know that we've been recommending CloseBot for a while. We're going to be moving off of CloseBot and into the HighLevel bot builder. It's there. It's at that level. I know CloseBot just rolled out V2, and I haven't even dabbled in V2. V2 is probably a lot better than this, but my clients aren't used to V2. I don't use V2. I don't use V2. I don't care to use V2. I want it to be simple. And so we're coming over to Conversation AI to make that happen. We already have our first couple of bots live, as you can see, and the early results are good. So with that said, the new feature for Conversation AI that I want to highlight here is human handover. So 2 days ago when I was building this bot, human handover was not an option. And so what did I do? I came in here and I created one here called bot detected, right? And this is to stop the bot. And so basically what I was doing is I was creating a flow where if somebody detected that it was a bot and said, hey, is this a bot? Or hey, is this AI or whatever, that we would send a canned response back and say, yes, this is, I do use AI to assist in handling some of my inbox due to capacity constraints, but no, I'm a real person. And then we would trigger after that custom tags that would notify the loan officer. And it was kind of this flow that we had to build to make sure that they could get plugged in and engage after this. Well, now you have this human handover option, which gives you a lot more flexibility in how you can enable this, and it also allows you to assign conversations after it reaches this point and change who the assigned user is, as well as this final message right here. So I can move this bot detected scenario over to here. I can still have the final message. I can reactivate the bot later if I want to. I can create a task, which is cool. Again, this is something that we would have to do in a workflow. So definitely a really, really cool feature. We're going to continue to invest in Conversation AI going forward. You'll continue to hear more about it. Yeah, you'll be able to consider us the experts in this space very soon. That's just, how we operate. So let us know if you have any questions on Conversation AI on rolling this out for your business, and we're happy to help. All right, last up, and this is a big one, but I don't have a ton of information for you on it. As you can see, I'm recording this on June 20th. This came out yesterday. Towards the end of the day. I didn't even know it was coming. This is insane. This now gives you the ability to use a VoIP desk phone. If you don't know what this means, then this is my last update. So feel free to skip to the end or move on. But physical desk phones. So as it is right now, you have to call through your computer, right? You have to call through the app on your computer, or you have to call through the app on your phone. Can't use physical desk phones. Well, now, due to the addition of SIP endpoints, is what it's called, you now have the ability to connect a physical desk phone to your HighLevel account and to your HighLevel number. So essentially now making a full phone service. You have IVR, you've got the ability to set up voice AI agents to field your calls, and you've got the ability to link up your desk phone. Guys, we don't have desk phones. Well, we do actually. We have boxes of desk phones that we don't use because we use HighLevel and VoIP numbers, and so we just haven't had any use for those desk phones. Whereas now, you can bet we're going to be adding desk phones back because it's a really cool, easier to dial out. It's easier to ring each other on it. Lots of benefits to that. So we'll be rolling that out. As we do, I'll give you more information on this feature. However, most mortgage companies do have physical desk phones. So if that's you and you want to figure out how you can link up these two, hit us up. Let's figure it out together. And then let's share it with the community. All right, guys, that is it for this week's weekly breakdown. Some really, really cool updates this week. Again, to think that these were sprinkled in with 30 other high-level updates that weren't even worth talking about is absolutely insane. And HighLevel's been doing this now. I mean, been at this pace for, I don't know, better part of a year now. So really cool, really exciting stuff, guys. Stay tuned for next week's weekly breakdown. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe. But until next week, we'll see you at the top.